So you got your water, because it's going to be a conversation. Hey, what's up? Hello. I am Dr. Marvette Lacy, and I am here to share a little bit about my story. Now, if you've been hanging around this account for any number of time, you have seen me do videos here and there. And as so many of you have joined us in the past few months, I thought I would take a moment to formally introduce myself and tell you a little bit about my story. So I created this company, this coaching business, Qual Scholars, back when I was supposed to be working on my dissertation. Listen, y'all, here's what happened. I had decided that higher ed was no longer going to be the route that I took. It was no longer going to be my long-term plan. Like, I thought that I would, finish my program, apply to some tenure track positions, and then everything would be good. The more I went through my doc program, the more I was like, nope. Then I was like, admin. So then I was like, I have to figure out a way to do this on my own. And so I decided that I heard about this whole online entrepreneurship, digital marketing, life coaching situation. I decided that that was going to be my way out. I grossly, is it underestimated how long it would take for me to get to a point where I could be full-time and support myself. I thought I could do it in a year. And can you do it in a year? Absolutely. Where I was though, that was not going to happen because I just didn't know what I know now. And so that is the beauty about doing this for 5-6 years at this point, that I get to share with you all the things I've learned, from all the mistakes I've made, all the things I continue to learn as I continue to build this business. But let me take you back to the beginning. So it would have been it would have been 2015, 2014 when I first learned. Actually, it was my first year. 2013 when I first heard about online business. I signed up for my first program. But the program I signed up for was way over my head. I needed, they were just talking to the 301 level. I was at, remedial classes. I needed somebody to break it down for me. And so I spent a lot of my time in between classes, writing, research teams. If I wasn't doing any of those things, my face was on YouTube, on Google, on somebody's blog, on somebody's webinar, just trying to figure this thing out. And I did that for the entirety of my program. It wasn't really until the tail end, when I was in the middle of writing my dissertation in 2017, that I had an idea of okay, this is what I'm going to do. My business is going to be helping other doc students write their dissertation, and I know kind of what to put out on social media to start getting clients. Right. And while I had that clarity, that would have been early spring of 2017, I got my first client September of 2017. There's a lot of factors. We can have that conversation later, but just to know, that's what my timeline looked like. For the 2017 to the end of 2018, I exclusively worked with people on a one-on-one basis. They would sign up with me. They would find me through my website. They would find me through Facebook, Instagram. And then they would say, I'm having trouble getting either my topic approved or finishing these last few chapters. Would you be able to help me? We would meet every week and I would help them. But then I started to realize I was saying the same things over and over and over. And I was like, if I could just record some videos and put it somewhere, then I wouldn't have to keep repeating myself, and then we can go deeper in the work. That was my initial intention about switching over to an online course, a group format. But then the more that the group happened, the more that my world started to merge. See, up to this point, I was working full-time as an admin and then as a postdoc in my daytime, and then I would do my coaching at nighttime and on the weekends. But the two worlds never met really, beyond the fact that I was talking about dissertations. But as I started to record myself, saying this is how you write a literature review, or this is how you start, or this is how you edit, and I started working with people on a group basis, and I started doing accountability writing sessions, I realized like, oh, you know that master's degree and that PhD you got in student affairs? Well, it's showing up here because my ability to bring groups together in a very cohesive way, in a very safe environment, a brave space, a space where people can come and just be themselves. My ability to do that was showing up in my business. And that became what is now known as the Finish Your Dissertation program, which is a program that helps doctoral students finish their dissertations in 12 months or less. We have helped so many, hundreds of students by either they are in our community some way or they're in the program. We have helped them make progress, whether it's from starting the literature review or completely defending. And I need to go check the numbers, but I believe we're somewhere around 15 to 20 students have graduated since that program started end of 2018, early 2019. And I just couldn't be more proud. And so to wrap this up, my takeaways or my advice that I would have for you, because people are like, what would you do? What would you do? The biggest thing that I can tell you that you're probably going to ignore me on is start with what you know. I know people say that. I know they say that, but hear me out. There's a lot of pressure that people put on themselves to like have the idea, like this is going to be my business. When I first started out, I had no intention of helping anybody with their dissertation because I was still trying to figure out how to write my own, right? I originally was going to do something more in the realm of trauma and self-care, but here's the thing, that wasn't going to work out. I couldn't figure out how to sell it. I needed to do my own work, and so I had no business helping anybody else do that. But it was a lot of iterations, a lot of business ideas before my coach was like, hey, you're really good at qualitative research and you're really good at getting people to write. Why don't you do that? Right? I say that to say like, you're going to have to, what's the saying, kiss a lot of frogs before you get to the idea, if that makes sense. So start with what you know. What are some trainings that you do in your 9-to-5 or your assistantship? What is something that your boss, other people in other departments or whomever, like they come to you and they ask you to do? Like for example, I have a client who she is repeatedly asked to do workshops around what does it mean to do culturally responsive teaching. And they frequently ask her to do it. And I said, why don't you offer that to the public? Instead of it just being something you do in your job, why don't you just show up on your Facebook or your LinkedIn and say, hey, 2 weeks from now on a Saturday afternoon, I'm going to be hosting a 2-hour workshop all about culturally responsive teaching. I'm going to show you what it is and I'm going to tell you how to get started. Let me know if you're interested by putting your email down in the comments. Really simple, right? So you're going to start with something that you know. What is something that you can do in your sleep, right? An example that I could have used would be like, how do I teach RAs how to build community on their floor, right? Like, or how do you teach RAs or resident advisors how to build community post-COVID, right? You think like, well, I do that for work. Nobody would care about that. Actually, they would care. There are RAs. There are still people staying on campus. And post-COVID, what are we supposed to do with that? So take something that you already are doing, offer it to people. Now, here's the scary part. Putting it on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever your platform of choice, it does not matter. That is scary. At least it was really scary to me to put myself out there in that way. Just put it out there and say you're hosting a workshop and you're just going to share what you use with your students or what you use at your workplace or what you use in your area of the world, right? And people can just put their email addresses. Now, when people put their email addresses in the comments, what you want to do then is respond, send them an email, and you're going to say, hey, just to recap, the workshop is going to be on Saturday, this date at this time. I'll send you the link, or here's the link to access it. Now, people are going to put their emails in your comments, right? Because here's why this works. You have a very clear offer and you have something that doesn't require me to commit to you in any long-term form. I would suggest that you price this workshop. Yes, they're gonna pay you for it. I would say do something like $20, $10, $30. The point isn't to make money. The point of this is to show your brain that what you know right now is enough to start business and make money, right? So you're just gonna tell people, put their email in the comments. When they put their email in the comments, what you want to do is say, hey, here's a recap. This is the title of the workshop. This is when it is. It costs $20. If you are interested, Zelle me, Cash App me, Venmo me, pick one and say, send me the money. Once they send you the money, then you can send them the information for the workshop. Now, I can hear you all the questions about, is that legal? It absolutely is. What about taxes? Nobody cares about the $100, $200 you're going to be making off of this workshop. Trust me, no one cares. And don't I need a website? You absolutely do not. What did I just say? You're going to post this on social media and you're going to get people's email addresses from there. You can absolutely repeat this until $1,000, $2,000, right? But I'm going to say until you get to your first $5,000, we're not going to think about any of that behind the scenes, like business things, right? And somebody's going to try to come in the comments for me. Listen to me. We're not going to think about it. You can just tell your tax accountant or whomever does your taxes to add it into your personal taxes. We don't need to start doing any other extra or additional work. Okay, we're just doing workshops at this point. This is how, if I had to go back and teach myself, I would tell myself to do this. I would say, find something you know, create a little 1 hour, 2 hour workshop, and then tell people about it. It is really that simple. And I know you probably have all the questions. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Be happy to answer them. And really, that's my story. That's it. It's nothing really big, crazy. But anyway, that's gonna do it. This is gonna be a series. I'm gonna be talking to you more and more about taking your research or your existing knowledge and turning it into a business. And I can't wait to share with you. All right. Bye.